Hi, welcome to CineMunn Podcast. I'm your host, Vince Munn, joined again with Time Metropolis.
Thanks for having me.
Benjamin Briggs.
Good evening, everybody.
And tonight we are doing our first interview, which should go over very well. With the last hour has already been a lot of laughs and dirty jokes. As you can tell us, we're not drunk, we're not stoned, we are all completely sober, which makes it so awesome. What?
We should be.
Why?
Next time,
April 1st.
Yep.
CineMunn, hammer.
The interview too, April 1st. There you go.
Oh my god. Tonight we're interviewing a local film movie critic. She's had a lot of fun doing interviews with Channing Tatum, Jamie Foxx, David Ayer, which is actually one I really want to talk about. Seen movies good and bad, has a massive DVD collection that puts mine to shame, so I don't want her to look at mine, because I'm sure she could just say good, bad, good, bad, bad. Mine's small, don't look at it.
Feel like you get a nickel for every time you say that.
Right.
Wow. This is mine. I have TV shows in mine too. But tonight we're talking with the Movie Maven. Go to movieMaven.com to see all her latest stuff, all her interviews. I saw you did something as well with Cal Penn I wanted to ask you about. Yes. So that's...
Yeah. Very serious.
But first, let me get your last name right. It's Jeri... Jaquin.
Yes.
Okay, I've been saying it wrong for like several years, but
So
she hasn't known that, which is good. Alright, first off, Jeri, I just wanted to know what got you started. What was your first film that drew you into films? What was the first... What captured you?
Bambi.
When
I was 7, maybe?
I like Bambi.
I think I was 7. I don't know. Yeah, I've always loved film. My mother got me started on the old black and whites. I mean, I think I got my chops broken in on Betty Davis and Joan Crawford and, oh my god, all the Cecil B. DeMille. That was like the big thing in our house.
I've been wanting to watch 10 Commandments, actually, recently.
There were some awesome movies. I mean, The Robe, and Cleopatra.
Last night I watched Ben-Hur, actually. It was on TCM.
Isn't that just amazing?
Yeah.
And the fact that they're remaking it sickens me to death, but that's another story.
That's another story.
Yeah, just anything along that genre in that era, I've always
It's
loved.
more like the golden age of cinema when it was
When
movies were movies.
Yes.
And cinema was actually still looked at with like awe and wonder.
Good story.
Like, oh my god.
It was always a good story, and they didn't try to dazzle it up. It was just a good story and good directing and good cinematography and just good.
And everything was handmade.
There you go.
Seriously.
All the costumes, props, sets.
Oh, Edith Head was one of the most brilliant women ever to do costuming for these epic movies, and she's just this little tiny woman. She was making these huge costumes. So
If you don't know who Edith is, watch The Incredibles. She's basically homage there
Isn't
as Edna Mode.
Nutcase!
Yeah.
Nutcase! Love her in that movie.
Yeah, we've talked about it several times on the show. Mine that drew me in was Jurassic Park. Jurassic Park for me is... What made you want to start writing it then? What made you want to start doing reviews?
It was a fluke.
Are you recording? Are you really recording?
Yeah.
Good grief.
No, we're not. Feel free to jump in at any time. Actually, I hadn't thought, I was doing my dissertation. Graduating from USIU, which is no longer with us. And my dissertation was on the representation of Native Americans in motion pictures from 1968 to 1998. And because I loved movies, it almost seemed cheating. Because I loved movies so much, it just didn't seem a chore to write that dissertation. And several years had gone by when one of the local television stations were looking for mom film critics. And a friend of mine and I went that day, and we kind of did it once or twice, and then, of course, as most television stations do, they change formats, and some of the local newspapers and websites had seen that and said, could you come and write for us? And I'm like, yeah, I'm there. And it's just grown huge since. You just don't think about it at the time. You're like, I'm just going to write, I'm going to do something I love about something I love, but you never see it expanding
into something more. And it has. It's been a wild ride. It's been a while. How many years do you think it's been now?
I've been doing this now probably 14 years.
14 years?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's a long time.
That is a long time. And now I know you're more independent now. You have your own site. And
I've actually been independent. That was one thing I didn't want to nail myself to one thing. Because, as you probably all know, when you do that, you have to do what they want and write
their format, how much they want.
Their format.
Yeah.
I'm not I don't play well with others, I guess.
We don't either. That's why we do this.
There you go. See? So I thought it would be best to, if you want me to write for you, then I will do that. But it has to be pretty much, I give you what I have. Do whatever you want with it once you have it. But don't try to control the content. Let it just be what it is. And I've had no complaints. So.
You've had no complaints at all?
No complaints.
What do you think about when you write? Like, do you think about the film overall? Do you think about your own personal impression? How do you think, what the type of social impact it may have?
All of that.
Everything?
I consider all of that.
You consider all
especially when I don't like the movie. I consider all of that.
It's easier when a movie is bad. You can consider all that one as far as it's good. To me, when it's good, you can get... To me, I can lose myself in a good movie. But when it's bad, I'll look at it and be like, I hate this, I'm going to write about this when I hate that too. And, for me...
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh.
No, I agree with you. It's with the good ones. You almost, what I find difficult is, especially if it's got a really good subplot going on.
Mm-hmm.
Those are harder to write because you don't want to tell the audience all the good things that are going to be popping up. So you kind of have to learn how to dance around that and not give too much away. And when you're talking about the actors and the roles, you have to be very, very crafty how you do that and be honest. First of all, be honest. I mean, I found out pretty quickly that people really do want to know how you feel, but you will lose their trust like that. If you say, oh, this is a 5 out of 5, and they go there and go, what, are you nuts? You have to, and that's where I think personal preference comes in, where you have to kind of say, well, as a non-writer of this, that sucked.
Yeah.
And be prepared also to put up with any backlash from saying
that comes your way. Especially now, everyone has the internet now, and they can all talk and say whatever they want and post it up there and not get rat's ass about what you think after it.
Exactly.
And they defend it vehemently to the death, and you're wrong about this, and I'm right, and
right, wrong. Because I mean, there are a lot of movies out there, right or wrong, I might have thought were a waste of my time, but they have fan bases, whether it be because it's a book to film or a comic book to film. I can say whatever I want the live long day, and it's still going to do $500 trillion worldwide. Personal preference.
Yeah. Like for me, it took me a while to watch Inglourious Bastards. It took me. Yeah. See, that's the first reaction. Whenever I bring it up, I brought it with Ben. I brought it with now with you.
Oh, I loved it.
He loves it. He's dressed as the Bear Jew at Comic-Con a few years back. Yeah. He dressed up as the Bear Jew and perfect costume. But
Eli Roth.
Love
that man.
For me, that movie was, because I've spent so much time in school and everything, reading and writing about World War II, about history. To me, it was almost defiant of the actual history, and so it was very hard for me to accept that movie.
But
and then I finally watched it. I know that is exactly what he is.
He just says, you know what? If the world had its druthers, this is, look at it from a spin, if you will.
Yeah.
And you have to be willing with Tarantino to go on that ride.
Yeah.
If you're not really a fan of his work,
I was much more willing with Django than I was with Inglourious Bastards. Like Django, I immediately first day I loved it. I enjoyed it.
Story behind that. Her and I saw Django together, and we're sitting in the audience. So within the first 5 minutes of the movie, we're like going, oh! I mean, you could see nobody was breathing because they didn't know
how to accept
react.
it. Yeah.
So her and I are in the back. We're cracking up.
Yeah.
We're like, we can't help it because, like I said, we're twisted. But it only takes that one person to start laughing before everybody's like,
and everyone relaxes.
oh,
yeah.
it's okay.
We can
And
laugh
then
at
the
this.
laughter got louder and louder and louder to the point where by the time the movie was over, we kept saying, we're going to have to see it again because we
missed
so much because
Yeah.
we
I
were
was
laughing
counting
so
how
much.
many times they were saying the N-word.
Yeah.
And I lost count.
She ran out of fingers and toes.
Yeah. And numbers.
Oh, speaking of which, I know you're hearing this other voice.
Yeah.
This is my daughter, Jenise, also known as Film Brat.
She's shaking her head no, but yes, there is actually another person here. There's
I
5 of us in the room right now.
She is
Technically 6.
There you go. Oh, yeah, she's the baby counts.
Yeah. Baby counts.
and she's been writing with me and covering things with me over the last couple of years. So she has.
You kind of drug her into it too.
Yeah. But
She said yes. Very, very defiant look of yes. She
even though
did.
she says yes,
I had no choice.
think she has a good time sometimes.
Oh, God forbid you have a
First it
good.
was like, yeah,
God forbid you have a good time writing about movies. You know
Yeah.
what?
First it was just the free movies, and then writing and stuff, and actually enjoying it. But it's really about the free movies. It's all in who you know. You know.
Well,
it is all
Can't
you know.
be free.
What's
Yeah,
Can't be
that's the
free.
best price in the world is free.
What the ticket
What's
prices these days?
I know,
I would
right?
go definitely go free.
What's the best person you got to be near that you still to this day still talk about?
God.
She met God.
I met God.
Which one? There's been.
Oh no.
No. See, now I'm not even tell you because
Oh.
there's only one God.
Okay.
No.
Morgan
Nobody?
Freeman?
There you go. See,
No.
you passed the test.
I'm sorry. I was thinking of Heston,
You
but that's
can
me.
read, but Heston, he was Moses.
He was the voice of God in Ten Commandments.
Really, and what happened to that relationship?
You know what?
He got left behind.
Ouch.
No, Morgan Freeman was someone she's always wanted to.
Yeah,
To me.
he's very cool. He's very what you think when you meet him and talk to him. He's got this light around him. He's God. I mean, that's all I can really say. He just has this light around him, and you just can't help but turn
His
into
great
a
sense of
2-year-old
humor.
girl. Yeah, and I don't get starstruck at all. This one, on the other hand, I don't
I
get
giggle.
starstruck. But
You giggle.
I did the little giggle thing, and then not more than 24 hours later, we ran into. I can't think of my brain's. I have baby brain right now. I just I can't figure.
Don't
it out.
touch me.
I know. He just directed all those movies. The older gentleman.
No.
The older gentleman.
Yeah.
Oh, Clint Eastwood.
Clint Eastwood.
Clint Eastwood.
Oh, so I'm like,
I literally
she
ran
just called me a
into.
punk. What?
I have pregnancy brain right now, so I'm more of the actor, and I write on the side, and as actors we don't remember anything, but
Except the lines that are written for them.
exactly,
I don't
which
know.
is why I recited a line so that she would know who I was talking about. I mean, that's how it works.
I got grandma brain.
There you go.
But he was walking by, and I was just like, Eastwood! And he's like, hi, I have to go sit down. And I was like, that's all I needed, was the acknowledgement that you saw me and I saw you see me, and that was it. Those are pretty much my feelings so far.
Wow.
I know that you.
Yeah, I see you see me see you.
That's right.
It's all good.
That's all good. So, what's been your best experience doing this so far? I mean, earlier we talked about Channing Tatum and such, and you have a rapport with them and everything.
Just meeting, you see them on screen, and you see the personas, and sometimes they're replicated throughout several movies. I won't mention names, but to actually sit down and talk to them and maybe move past the movie or whatever it is they're promoting, and just talk with them, and they're funny and they're charming and they have a lot to say. They're just. That has actually been the best part. Just having great conversations and meeting people you didn't think in your whole entire life, even as a writer of film, that you'd ever get to meet. Sitting in the same room with them, and you're just, Christopher Nolan, come on,
He seems like a very shy guy.
He would just
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a little shy.
I mean, even in the interviews and such, you see him. He's very very quiet, very.
He thinks about what he says before
okay.
he says it.
Maybe that's why.
And he's very clear. And when he teased us like a year ago about Interstellar, and he would only give us roundabout, which just really built it up for me. I was like, this is killing me now. But he was so proud of the way he handled the film, and you could just tell that he was just very pleased, and he was so excited for people to see it. That's impressive for me. It's like, that makes me want to see it. If you're that proud of what you've done and you can articulate that, and his lack of love for special effects and digital film, he likes putting the reel in and cranking it out.
Right?
Yeah.
Very old Bell and Howell.
Yeah.
Camera.
Absolutely.
I know you did an interview with David Ayer for Fury. How is that like? Because that's a movie that really, even now, like, it's been several months, it's still sticking with me. Why I haven't bought it yet since it's on Blu-ray and DVD, is beyond me. But it's
First of all, let it be said, Shia LaBeouf proved he can act. You know, that he's not stuck in that Transformer. You know, he actually can. Yeah. You know, he was given a meaty role and he did it. You know, I think Brad Pitt was stellar. He was just amazing. The whole cast. Mm-hmm. I can't imagine being in a tank.
Well, I mean, when it comes to films, when you have a cast like, or any span of actors, they got to have that chemistry. That's why, to me, like Star Trek is one of those J.J. Abrams. With you got Carl Urban, you got Chris Pine, you got
Jaquin,
Simon Pegg. I mean, they're all great chemistry, and it's one of those things that sometimes you get drawn to a film. One character could be one thing, but if you have a plethora of characters,
right.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot more fun.
Oh, really? Mr. Ayers is just grounded. You know, he knows. To me, I got the impression he knows what he wants. It's just getting everyone else to see that too. Mm-hmm. You know, he's not afraid to talk deep about film and where his love of film came from, and you know, you get him started and he's gone. He's like, well, let's do this.
Because it was very different to me from Training Day, from Harsh Times, from I can't remember what it's called now. End of Watch. I love End of Watch. I watched it again recently. It's just so hard.
Isn't it just one of those movies you're like, wow?
You kind of wish Cops was actually that show. I mean, that's the quality Cops itself as a show should be. I mean, not saying it should be that violent, but I mean, that you're that invested in it.
Well, and you're invested in both of them.
Yeah, in the character.
You know, you're not being taken in 5 million directions with all these characters. You really get a chance to get to know. Mm-hmm. And come on, Michael Pena. Michael
Pena is awesome. Michael Pena can do no wrong right now. I mean, I'm excited. I don't know what he's doing in Ant-Man, but I'm excited. I can't wait. I can't wait to see him in Ant-Man. I mean, Fury.
Did I make a face?
She made a face.
Was that my face?
Well, I didn't see nothing.
I just feel like he's one of those actors that he manages to fly just above the radar and put in such a fantastic performance that you notice it, and he doesn't mind if it's not the breakout performance. He just got,
And he's one of those faces you always kind of recognize in a movie, like, oh, I know him. He was in, there was that one, the one. And then you go back to that one and you watch it again just for him.
I really enjoy his performances. I even told David that I thought the cast he chose for Fury, I mean, at first you look at it and it's kind of like, whoa.
I don't know. The first.
Wait a minute, why is Shane there? You know, you kind of just look at it all, but once you see it kind of roll together, you're like, ah.
Remember the first promo picture they put out for it? There's just all of them kind of laying on the tank. It's like, look at a Broadway show. It's like, okay, this is really kind of weird. What was this tank song?
Right.
So
freak out.
But then when you saw the trailer and what they were doing, it's like, okay. I like this, and the way he did it, I never thought of tank warfare that way at all. And it was really, on the edge of my seat, invested. My hands were shaking. I'm sweating in there, and I'm not even in the damn movie. But yeah, they're tense.
Yep.
And especially Logan Lerman to me is I think is one of the better actors of this current generation. I mean, yes, he's had the Percy Jackson, trying to carry a franchise, which I think was no fault of his.
That's a hard role to break from.
Yeah.
Going from that sort of
tween franchise, Harry Potter-ish,
book to this role that required him to just really. I mean, you have to go deep to freak out as much as. I mean, we joined in that freak out because it's like he's too young to be doing that, And my son was a tanker in Iraq, so tell me about it. It's like, is that how they? You got these rough, tough guys over here, and this kid going, I am not rough and tough. I have paper cuts. I don't have tank burns. I get, I think he did an amazing job.
He did a wonderful job. And even I remember seeing him in 3:10 to Yuma. I was like, wow, this kid can act. And I was really shocked just watching him grow and grow. And I know recently Sony has the whole Marvel deal right now that they're kind of, they're sharing Spider-Man. And he's my pick for Spider-Man. He's been my pick for Spider-Man since they announced. Even before Amazing Spider-Man.
I just feel like when actors do that, when they join the Marvel Universe or the DC Comics, it's like, oh, why?
I do and I don't. Like, for me, Ben Affleck joining it is just awesome to me.
But he's-
I enjoy it. I've loved Ben Affleck, and even in his bad movies, I've still enjoyed him. Even okay, let's go back to Kevin Smith films like Mallrats and Dogma. I've enjoyed him in that.
Oh my god, I love Dogma.
Yeah. And his little cameo in Clerks 2 was that was worth it to me. Jersey Girl I actually enjoy as a film, and I know it's one. See, there's another face.
Is that your guilty pleasure?
It's one of them. I have a lot of guilty pleasure films people don't like.
You keep in your room in the side table, right? You don't actually put out for friends this
Actually, no, I have no problem with it. I have Land of the Lost. So, see,
What's wrong with Land of the Lost?
no one I know has ever seen it.
Well, I do prefer the television show.
See?
That's just.
See, yeah,
I'm old, so
that's not an
that
excuse.
works. Will Ferrell is Will Ferrell, so you're going to give him props forever because he just.
Have you ever had a chance to interview him at all?
I met him.
You met him.
7 years ago at the Santa Monica. It's a photogenic or photo show. He was there with Viggo Mortensen, and if you want to know how little Viggo is, just stand him next to Will Ferrell because Will Ferrell is very, very
Very tall.
Yeah,
Wow.
and he it's like here's the crowd, here's Will Ferrell. So he's very nice, very jovial, very cordial, so polite to people who like want autographs and things like. He's just just an amazing guy.
What's been your worst experience in all this?
Oh jeez.
One?
Did I forget
Get out
that?
Yeah.
Did I forget that?
How much time do you have?
Yeah, how much time?
We have all the time in the world.
I don't think it's like worst experience. I think
Okay, one of your lesser great
lesser
experiences.
fun.
Lesser fun. One that you could take back or redo and see if you can make it better.
I can't say me.
If it could be better.
I can't say me.
Yeah, no, that's a safe one. I don't think there has been a worst. I mean, there have been aggravations where this isn't going right and that's not going, and I have to be here, but I also have to be over here, and sometimes you have to. Oh, that's the thing. Giving up an interview because you've already set up this interview and they can't fix it. So that gets a little testy. But bad experiences, even the bad movies.
Few and far between.
Huh?
Few and far between.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to take the good with the bad. You have to know that sometimes you're not going to get that interview, or sometimes you're not going to get to see this thing or that thing. You just be happy with what you got. Is kind of what I say. This is a profession where we get to do things. Most people only, say, God, I wish I could do that, and you just kind of go, I get to do that. So let's not look at the bad stuff. Let's just
Look at the positive.
yeah.
And
You're
go with it.
not to complain too much.
Clint Eastwood said hi. That's good enough.
Oh well, when Clint Eastwood says hi, the world's good.
The world is good.
You could have pointed the biggest gun at you.
So I'm saying.
You feel lucky.
Wait, God was in front of him, so
Oof.
Oh,
What is
You gotta
that?
go through that.
jeez.
what are you gonna do? Shoot God? Come on, not gonna happen.
Does he actually have a shirt that says "I am God"? That'd be awesome.
No, but he was wearing a white suit.
He's wearing a white
white
suit.
shoes, and I was just
That's
like,
awesome.
Yes.
I heard the angels. I heard them when he walks in the door.
Saw the holy light and everything.
Yeah.
I mean, some of the bad things too is when you it's not bad, but it happens. Is when some of the people you're interviewing are not in a good mood. So you have to find a way to turn that around.
Tyrese. I screamed out the press.
Oh, just they're human too.
Yeah.
And they have long days and they have a lot of interviews and they have the same questions asked
Over
of
and
them
over again.
over and over and over
You
again.
get tired of it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I mean, you have to be.
That's why we don't ask the same questions. We try to come up with 5 just ridiculous questions.
To make them laugh.
Yeah.
And
What's your favorite food?
just,
Yeah.
and what's your favorite cartoon? I mean, just
Favorite cartoon.
something where they kind of go, whoa, where did that come from? And then they kind of see that, okay, just take a deep
Relax.
breath and, jump right in.
You gotta make it fun, and that makes it unique for you too. It's like, oh, I had a bad time with this person. I didn't.
Yeah. If you find some interesting things, like even asking a simple question like, what's their first movie they saw? It's like, how many times do they really, really get asked that question? And they'll go into like this whole story about, where they were, who was with them, things like that. What candy? That's one of our questions. What candy did you eat? And your favorite, movie candy. And they'll just go into these stories, and it'll actually take up most of the interview. But that was the most interesting thing, I can get, how do you feel about making this movie with this person, but that question,
You can get that in a zillion interviews.
You Google
You
that.
just read it wherever,
Yeah.
You're not going to get what's your favorite candy.
Exactly.
Yeah, First Kiss. I think we did that with Zac Efron.
Start profiling.
We did First Kiss, but it didn't really go well. No, it was first on-screen kiss, and how was it? And when we said how was it, they didn't really respond because they have to.
You have to see that person again.
Yeah, so we
You don't want this on the record?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because it wasn't that good.
Yeah,
Although, let me click this off and you can tell me anyway.
Right.
I don't care,
There
it's
was
not.
times where they would answer once we turned
Once
it
you
off.
turn off the
and,
record.
it'd be more real and it's hilarious. And we'd never share that info ever. But yeah, it was a little more interesting and find that once you don't treat them like they're celebrities and untouchables, and when they act like human beings, and then you get the better answers and you get the better stories, really.
That's true.
They can get admiration from 7,000 people in Hall H
Yeah.
Comic-Con. They can get that once a year.
You brave that every year, don't you?
Yes.
You brave Hall H.
Yes.
Ugh.
We are in line usually about 4:30 in the morning,
Oh,
and we don't get home till sometimes 12 or 1 at night.
oh, you go to the parties too.
No, here's the funny part about the parties.
That's annoying.
We go, we'll eat,
Mhm.
and then we leave because we're so tired and we have to be back in line at 4:30,
Oh.
to get into Hall H because that's mainly where everything
A lot
is
of it
now.
is.
A lot of Ballroom 20 stuff is now over in Hall H. So
It got too big. I remember I saw Big Bang in like some random ballroom the first year. Next year is in Ballroom 20. I couldn't get in.
Walking Dead went from
Walking
Ballroom
Dead went from
20
Ballroom 20
over
to
to Hall
Hall H,
H,
yep.
and people are like shanking people to get in there.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, it's not a good thing, but
Trampling and stabbings and everything.
stabbings and
We saw a lady get trampled last year.
oh my
Yeah,
god,
that's right.
yeah, literally, she got knocked over and people didn't stop and they just kept walking.
Kept going.
Yeah, just
Crazy.
sea of humanity. But we, at the same time, we also get to, again, do interviews there
Mhm.
with people who have gotten used to seeing us every year. So they actually greet us, and that's amazing. When they see it, they're like, "Oh my God, you're back!" Of course, because FX is one of our favorite peeps.
There you go.
Shout out FX! Between Sons of Anarchy and Archer, because I'm a huge Archer fan. What? You don't like Archer?
No, I didn't say I didn't like it. No, I'm just some of the jokes going through my mind right now. I'm just like,
Yeah, see?
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, I absolutely.
He got me to watch Archer. I remember seeing it, I was like, oh, this is really random, the way the animation was, and then he's like, you need to watch Archer. I'm like, alright, so I watched it.
And what's funny is looking at the guy who voices Archer and looking at Archer.
Not at all.
Nope.
Two completely different people.
But it's okay, I love them anyway. I think they're amazing. Aisha Tyler, we just did an interview with her this afternoon, and she's still on board. She loves what she's doing, and that's the only one, Lana, and that's Aisha Tyler. So, but then again, they go to Comic-Con every year, and you get to see them, and Katie Siegel, every time she would go to sit down for the the round tables, Katie's like, "Hey, what's up? How you're back?" And that's kind of a nice feeling to have cast members know you like that, or Tommy, or
Tommy always blows me a kiss.
Kim, Theo. They love her. It's that red hair.
It's the red hair, yeah.
It's
Yeah, it's
like
red
a
hair.
beacon
That's the idea. That's what the Irish planned. Yeah. It's the red hair.
all along.
You guys stand out somehow.
All along.
It's all
So
white
yeah,
people.
we do that. And we do the film festivals and.
You do a lot. I know you do a lot of local film festivals, like the one down the Gas Lamp. I know.
Yes.
You've done that. You
San
did
Diego
the
Film Festival.
San Diego Film Festival.
Latino Film Festival is getting ready to start. Asian Film Festival's later in the year.
You did a Jewish Film Festival as well?
Not this year.
Not this.
Not this year.
Isn't
Well,
that
we're dealing
just
with.
going to the movies every time?
That's what it feels like. Yeah. But they also have a German film festival, and Coronado's getting ready to start their film festival probably next year. So there's plenty of film festivals.
There's a lot of stuff going on just in San Diego.
I'm going to start a gender film festival.
Jeez.
Time.
Nothing but films made by redheads starring redheads.
So a lot of Ron Howard movies, huh?
Exactly. We're always.
Apollo 13.
She can hang out
Rush.
with his daughter. She's a redhead, right?
Yeah, she's redhead. In certain movies.
Just depends.
In some movies, yeah. Spider-Man 3.
Well, dang, in Twilight, she was a redhead.
I didn't see that.
Well, neither
Well,
did
you're not a 12-year-old girl, so, you know.
Wow.
I need testimony to that.
Wow. Whoa.
Whoa.
They're real friendly here. Oh my god. What is
So
that?
inappropriate working in the work
I know,
environment.
right? Dirty around here. Horrible. Downtown. Dirty downtown San Diego.
That's your new nickname.
That's a
by
new
the way,
nickname for the show. Dirty Downtown.
Dirty Downtown.
Dirty Downtown Podcast.
Oh, Dirty Down Under?
DDPS.
No, that's
Dirty
Wow, that sounds worse, actually. That actually sounds worse.
That's probably not going to help you with the ladies.
Wow.
So,
Oh, wow.
It just took a wrong.
This is not a
turn
kid's show
right there.
anymore. Sorry.
Yeah,
Please
sorry.
take your children off from listening. Listen in your own time.
Take him to put in Bambi.
Put him in bed.
TV.
Put Bambi in. We've already talked about Bambi. Put Bambi on. It's the best one. It'll get you inspired.
To shoot deer.
it's Elenia.
There's a Bambi remake waiting to happen.
I know, when are they going to remake Bambi?
Bambi, the hunter's perspective.
Yeah.
He was poor and hungry. He had a little cabin in the woods with little kids. They were starving. You had to eat. I mean, come
Have
on.
you not seen The Walking Dead? I mean, if they can eat dogs.
If they can eat dogs, we can eat deer. And the deer on that show are jacked up anyways. You can't eat them. They're all ripped up.
I know, oh God, I hope I didn't give anything away to those of you who haven't seen last Sunday's episode. Sorry.
Get on it.
There's dogs.
I know,
Get on it.
where have you
There
been?
was dogs.
It's
Say
like a
it.
72-hour rule. So
Yeah.
if you haven't seen it in 72
If you haven't
hours,
seen it by
it's
now,
okay to spoil.
you're not going to watch it.
You'll wait till Sunday.
That's the basic rule. If you haven't seen it by now, you're not going to watch it.
Yeah, I just asked for 24 hours notice. If you're going to give me a spoiler alert, just give me 24 hours notice.
Yeah,
That way I don't have
Facebook.
to watch it. But it's been 3 days.
It's been 3 days now. Yeah, this is
And
Wednesday
many
night.
repeats. And many repeats, yeah.
Yes.
So.
It's like
Yeah.
I haven't watched
that
Better Call Saul
Wikipedia
yet,
there.
so I need to. I'm behind on that one by one show.
That's one I want to, but it's like,
It's a little more of a
I
struggle.
have so much other stuff to watch.
Better Call Saul.
Alright.
Oh, that.
Yeah, it's fun.
Recommend it? Yes.
I do recommend it. I think it's fun. I like it. The unfortunate thing with that is that because you're so used to how he is on Breaking Bad, it's a very different take on the character, at least to start. So you have to adjust.
Did you see Fargo?
Yes, I did see Fargo.
How'd you think you did in that?
I honestly don't remember even Fargo. It's been a while since I watched Fargo. And it's on my Netflix right now. I could just watch it.
Yeah.
Don't talk to me until you watch it.
I need to watch it again now. I love Fargo. That's what got me into William H. Macy, was watching Fargo. And now anything he does, I watch. I haven't seen Shameless, because I don't have Showtime. But
I've seen a couple episodes. He's just very surprising.
he's an angry drunk or something on
Yeah,
that show.
he's just kind of, but he's got that attitude, like, you know.
Yeah. But he's so funny. He can do
His
comedy,
family
drama,
is
and it
nuts.
doesn't matter. I love it. Air Force One,
Absolutely.
Civil Action,
Absolutely.
even bad movies. He's still getting Sahara. We're watching Sahara tonight. He's in that. He's
What's
still
that?
fun. Yeah, see? Like I said.
I thought it was on TV and I started
Oh,
watching
Sarah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry, they said Sarah. I was like, what?
He
What am I missing?
owns it.
Yeah,
Oh, that,
I do, yes.
Don't push play.
I know, I'm
whatever
like,
you do.
It's the only time I've ever been to a screening seeing this movie.
Yes.
Seriously?
Yeah, seriously.
Oh my god.
That's when I lived in Hollywood.
That's why you never went back to seeing screenings, right?
No, I just never been invited. I have no friends. These are my friends. This is what we do.
These are
Wait.
good. That's a t-shirt. That's an awesome t-shirt. And socks,
Tommy, what's the
right?
t-shirt?
Come on, man.
We don't have a camera, man. This is
It's
a
the
podcast.
title's on the shirt.
Television.
What shirt is that? It's at the bottom. Army of Darkness.
What?
Army of Darkness.
Okay.
Do we
Good
know?
God, man.
And
And
I love that one.
yeah,
Was?
Jaws.
And the guy in the Hawaiian
Yeah,
shirt.
right
I don't know how that works between the two of you, but the Hawaiian shirt
They're comfortable.
is kicking.
Yeah.
There you
They're
go.
comfortable.
More
It's a
committed.
vintage Hawaiian shirt. They don't make these anymore. Thank God for yard sales. Otherwise, I'd have no clothes.
Why do you wear a Hawaiian shirt? Because they
What was
fit.
it? Johnny Depp movie.
Which one?
God, I just had it.
Oh, Fear and Loathing?
Yeah, it would have been so funny had it run up to something.
Oh yeah, we have to get your little tag on it. So
Little
that way
tag.
it's
There
like-
you get you.
I got my little
It's
fisherman hat, my
vintage,
glasses,
but it's
cigarette.
also, there you go.
There's my Comic-Con costume.
There you
There
go.
was another shy actor, by the way.
Johnny Depp.
We met him like 5 times, and he literally would be like, they'd be like, so, about the movie, and he'd be like, you answer the question. Like, he doesn't really do talking too much, very
And crowds
shy.
bugging.
Yeah, and crowds bugging. Super.
But in
How
a
does he
shy
live?
way, in a shy way.
Speak up.
He
I mean, you've seen him at premieres and stuff.
But at the same time,
Ouch.
earlier it's like, you can tell when an actor's
Yeah.
kind of had enough. I mean, it's one thing when you're starting out, but it's another thing when you've been doing it for so many years. You just know that this person's going to say, hey, and then you kind of start getting the same questions, the same reaction, and
Absolutely.
right.
I think it's more he's just humble and shy than bored with the atmosphere. Like he doesn't even watch his own movies.
What do you think of that? I just hear that. I feel like he doesn't watch his own movies. I hear James Spader doesn't watch his own movies, and like once it's done, they're done,
Yeah.
and they don't want nothing else to do with it aside from maybe the premiere, and that's it because they have to be there.
Because you're criticizing. I mean, I've done some things here and there, and I don't watch mine, and I think it's just more because you criticize yourself. And when you're in that character, I don't know. I couldn't watch myself and be like in the moment and understand. I'm like, oh, that's myself, and I would just be thinking that's myself, and I think it would criticize and not take me out of the character. And I think that might be the same for him because he plays such crazy, off the wall, random characters, one over here, that I think that is more of an uncomfortability, or he'd rather let the people decide, than himself.
You think he's in a slump right now?
No.
No?
I think he'll never be in a slump.
Even with Mordecai and Transcendence and
I'm not a fan of Mordecai, but at the same time, he
Pirates
can't
of the Caribbean
really...
5.
that's the only thing he's got going for him. That's the only thing that people keep seeing is
I have to
fucking
tell
Pirates.
you because I get bored at 2 a.m. and can't sleep.
Okay.
That seems to be the time they play Transcendence on the cable network, the HBO and
2
stuff.
in the morning.
Yeah, and I have tried to watch it 1 or 2 more times, and I get where it was going.
Mm-hmm.
Just went on an acid trip.
It just kind of it started out and then just kind of went, now we're going to weird everybody out. And everybody was like, well, we don't want to be weirded out. We wanted the character to go somewhere, not be digital Johnny. We don't want digital Johnny. We want...
It reminded me of the astronaut's wife. Like, that's
Oh,
when he
man.
took a wrong turn, and then he got back on track, and maybe this is his wrong turn, or like the secret window, like that was, you gotta have a couple, like we said earlier, under your belt. But he has hundreds that are,
he's
amazing.
got a lot.
So he can do a couple.
And Mordecai, I don't necessarily think that was all his fault. It just seemed like there wasn't the whole cast. Just didn't seem like
Yeah,
it worked.
if you don't have the chemistry, also too, that could really affect a film. It just doesn't.
It just didn't. It didn't work.
The scenes
for me.
don't roll out. Yeah.
Exactly.
And I don't see him with what's her name as a couple.
Gwyneth Paltrow.
Yeah, that's just weird.
She's someone like when you watch her, she has chemistry. If she doesn't with
Yeah.
whoever her lead is.
Well, like in Iron
What
Man,
about
I
her
was
and
like,
Robert?
I
Yeah.
guess it works. Sort of. I still don't believe
Yeah.
it. But with Johnny Depp, I'm just like, no way. I don't see it whatsoever.
But yet, the movie Possession works perfect. Her and Aaron Eckhart are fabulous in
Yeah.
that movie together.
Yeah.
So, I guess you have to. She's like one of those love it or leave it type of actresses, and you just kind of give your like, okay, whatever, or just absolutely no.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mordecai for me is absolutely no.
Yeah.
Again, one of those things where you go 2 hours of my life I'll never get back.
Oh yeah.
Well,
Speaking of 2 hours of your life, we have the Oscars coming up right now. Well, actually, 3 hours. And yeah, she knows exactly what I'm talking about right now.
I almost
Did
want
you
to
stay up at
DVR
Best
what-
picture. Just
So,
fast
to
forward
see who
to
won.
it. That's
Yeah.
it. That's
Well, I did it for Saturday Night Live. I could do it for the Oscars.
Learned that trick after a while. It was an award show.
Yeah,
It's
you
taken
just
3
record the
hours or
entire
so.
show.
I just
Record a
don't
half
think
hour
it
afterwards because you know it's
needs
going to go
to be.
over.
Yes,
And-
I just don't think
Or
it
what?
needs to be.
Get up at 4:30, 5 in the morning to hear the
announcements?
nominations or whatever.
I don't do that.
It's like let's.
I just go online and read it when I get up.
Let somebody else
on
get
my
this
time.
in the morning. I'm
Yeah.
old.
And then we'll just promote it here on the show.
And absolutely.
Wikipedia.
I think with the way things are, internet, all that, you don't need to have
It's
a
constant
in the
flood.
morning.
It's
You know,
constant
flood
my
of
phone
everything.
will blip if it's important.
Mhm.
You know,
Other than that, it's
and
doesn't matter.
the last 2 years haven't, for me personally, just been great movie years. Just hasn't, for me, it just seems like I see this vast ocean of movies, and
Like
There's maybe
some
two or
like a
three
little
that I
ripple in
kinda
the wave, maybe, and that's it.
Yeah.
It's like Kingsman is the one for this year so far.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
gotta be Kingsman right
that's-
now.
That's okay. I was expecting that as far as what I've seen. I mean, was American Sniper was last year? Or?
Yeah.
Technically qualifies last year.
Yeah, I saw it this year, but I mean,
No, I know you
still,
saw it, but I mean, like, it qualifies for last year. That's why it qualifies for the Oscars.
American Sniper is just,
Another military movie.
yeah, it's
and
another
I don't
military
mean
movie.
that disrespectfully.
Yeah.
God
No,
knows
no.
I don't mean it that way, but it's, in the year before we had the Mark Wahlberg film, and then the year before that, it's just, I get it,
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and we'll leave it at that.
it's like let's make another Hurt Locker
Yeah.
or something, and then.
Her Locker's
Ah.
stunning.
Well, I mean,
Just
yeah.
brilliantly done.
I mean, they're good movies, but it's just like it's kind of. It feels like when these military movies come out, they kind of feel like it's a different story, and there's a ton of stories out there, but
It's the same story.
it's like, and as we were talking about earlier, it's like Hollywood throw a little bit of creativity in there. Don't just repeat some military story or something, and just come up with something original.
And I'm an avid reader. I love reading.
Mhm.
I don't want my books on the screen.
Yeah.
I don't. I want to be able to read a book and
Kanye West would disagree.
Kanye don't
Kanye
read.
says there just be too many words.
It's like,
I-
I've
Just
never
too
seen a
wordy.
movie.
I agree with you with the anime and the video game aspect. Video game movies being adapted to the big screen. There's only one movie that really stuck with the video game, which was Silent Hill in 2006. But everything else has been like. Did you guys read the story and then just when you wanted to adapt for the screen, you're like, let's write something else. I was kind of sitting there. I'm like, what the hell is going on? And that's like I can imagine with books how many.
I just
Stuff
feel like
can
when I
happen.
read
It's
a
like-
book, I want to.
See it yourself.
I want to experience it
Right.
for myself, and I want to imagine what it would be like myself. I don't want some guy or lady or whoever to come in and tell me, "Oh, this is what it is. This is what it looks
Well,
like."
yeah.
Because then I walk in and go, "No, it's not." I mean, I had a friend. Okay, yeah, I saw the Twilight movies. I had a friend who the house that the Cullens lived in. Look, the description in the book, that's not it. And I know some people were actually offended by that. And it's just the house. They were offended because that's not what was in their head.
That's why I stopped reading the book. I bought all the books before it was a fad, and I read the first one, and then I saw the movie, and I never read any. I still have them. They're in perfect condition on sale.
For
And
99 cents.
Yeah.
The bindings
Free
haven't,
shipping.
cracked yet.
But yeah, it's just again when you take a story and you kind of do it, and the characters weren't played the way they were written out, and Cloudy with a Chance of Meatball is my favorite child's book, and I will not see those movies because that is not the book whatsoever. And it's like they should have just made that movie and then called it something else. They had the idea. It obviously isn't that. So
Vince, I think you're singled out here. This is the same formula that I told you about these adaptations.
Yeah,
I know you vouch when you say they're
I
adaptations.
have no
it's
problem. I have
appropriate.
no problem with.
But even
book to
they
film
just specify it's
adaptations.
like characters and all that stuff coming together. It's not there. Just
I
don't
have
even
no
do the
pro-
story itself.
I have no problem with it because ultimately, even after I watched the movie, okay, we'll take one of the better examples, Lord of the Rings.
Right.
I read those before I ever saw any of the films. I reread them as I saw the films again to compare book to
You
film.
read and watched.
Yes,
Did that all in 3 hours.
Shut up.
But the thing about Lord of the Rings, too, is that...
But it's not. I mean, Lord of the Rings even was not how I saw it in my head. But I still
there were so many
accepted it.
stories in the book
Yeah.
that couldn't be... unless you want to see a 5.5-hour movie every time
Each one.
they did a book,
30 times.
I can see
I
that.
understand how Jackson decided, this character can't be introduced in this.
Mm-hmm.
I understood it pre-going in, because Lord of the Rings were books I'd read since I was 12, and
Yeah.
I had the collection. So I sort of I don't mind giving a director leeway
Mm-hmm.
Right.
to say that I understand there's so much information to give. You have to be specific. You have to say, this is the story we're going to
A little
tell,
bit of
and
pick and
go
choose
that
in
way.
there, yeah.
Exactly. And he made that perfectly clear from the get-go.
Yeah.
This is the direction we're going. Now, did I feel like he kind of didn't take his own advice for the Hobbit films? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Do I love them any less? No. But, again, I can sit and nitpick those. The first three, they're on the
Yeah.
shelf.
Yeah.
Gollum is on one side, and, the castles on the other, and don't touch
I have
them.
my castle.
Exactly.
I have my golem in there. I have my the two guardians of the gateway.
I have
there
exactly.
as well, yeah.
See, you were there. You're on it. Now, would I collect any stuff from the Hobbit movies? Probably not.
No.
Probably not so much. But I enjoyed them knowing that that's the direction he was going to take. I got it. I can't get behind. I hate using Twilight as an example, but I
Hunger Games.
Well, it was just too. I mean, not that I disliked the Hunger Games. I just kind of was like, okay, first of all, I'm sick of book screen. I'm sick of teenage girls falling in love and can't have it, blah, blah, blah. I'm sick of boys falling in love with these girls I can't have, blah, I'm done.
Right.
And I used to think it was because I'm getting older. I did. For a while, I did.
Well, me and Vince had a bit of a discussion about this, and it's not about the fact that getting older as books progress. I mean, you look at movies, Twilight, Hunger Games, even 50 Shades, all kind of those romance things. That's what people are eating up. And I mean, if Hollywood knows they're going to make money off of it, they're going to make it.
So in the meantime, they don't care about the creative writing that's
correct.
going on.
Which is why when it comes to representation of original content, whether it be a book, a video game, or whatever, if you represent it the way it was intended, it's going to come out even more. It's going to come out better. Now, when you try to fancy it up and give it a little fairy tale or something like that, it really dulls it out and makes it like the same thing over and over. And I'm like,
but that's kind of like I feel like I'm watching between Maze Runner, The Giver, Hunger Games,
all that.
Divergent.
Yeah, it's all the same story over and over again.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I get it. Go eat it up. Make Hollywood proud. But I think, and I don't think I'm speaking just for my generation, but I think I'm speaking for a lot of people, is when you go to the movie, you want to see something amazing. And I'm not talking amazing in the sense of special effects or gizmos or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Just give me something good, something solid, something you can stand behind and not feel embarrassed about. And I will back you up 100%. I will back you up.
That was another thing we talked about as far as practical effects towards digital effects. I mean, there's movies out where the digital effects just give it so much exaggeration to where you're so distracted from the movie. You're like, you're in the movie, and then you're like, graphics. What the hell was I just watching? It's like, come on.
That's what we said about Jupiter Ascending when we walked out. We were like, okay, here's the story. It starts to go. Next thing you know, and it kind of just went wackadoodle on you.
Yeah.
And great on you, but
I mean,
okay, I'm ready to go home now because my head hurts from all the whatever. I think that's the big thing about the Grand Budapest Hotel, why I love it so much. Mm-hmm. It is so that old school humor. And there's not a lot of special effects in the sense. It's very Keystone Cop-ish, and the effects are so funny with the paper and all that kind of stuff. To me, that was beautiful.
And you could see, when the wide shots at the hotel, it's a model. You can see it's a model, and you accept it. I don't care. It's a model. I know it's a model. The little silhouette guy going up the mountain. Yeah. You can see it, and it doesn't bother you.
Well, because I think it's the way it's projected.
Presented.
The way it's, and you accept that it's got that quirkiness, and you're willing to take any quirkiness they've got. Mm-hmm. It's brilliantly done.
I think it also is kind of expected. It's Wes Anderson, so you expect that. Even Moonrise Kingdom was kind of similar to me. You didn't like Moonrise Kingdom?
No.
Oh, wow.
But that's that's not to say I didn't respect what he did, because it was different. Yeah. And I hate that word, by the way. When someone says, "Oh, it's different," it's we're doing something nothing's ever been done before, really. Yeah,
it's been done a million times. You just weren't paying attention.
Yeah,
that's all it is.
Wes Anderson to me is just he's so quirky.
Yeah,
he just has that sense of humor that you just don't get a lot of. And to me, The Grand Budapest, I love that movie. I just love it.
What do you think about the other ones that are up this year with the Oscars? You have Boyhood, Selma, American Sniper. I'm not trying to get you in trouble. I'm simply asking your opinion.
My pick.
Okay. Birdman? No. Nightcrawler. I think that is just brilliant. It was so creepy.
Brilliant. Jake
it was so creepy. It was so good.
Has not gotten the respect and props that he deserves for that performance. It just creeped me out. Which was the point.
Yeah.
That you got me right where you wanted me, and you said, "Come on for the ride," and I was like, "All right."
Then you went.
It creeped me out, but
Yeah.
okay.
Creeped me out, but you're still interested. You creeped out, and you still want to see what happens next.
Yes, because his character changes so much, and he, you go from this whipping boy to the one doing the whipping.
Yeah.
And you just see
Very
this
aggressive,
gradual
different,
strength, and you're like, oh my god, it's time to carry a weapon.
Yeah.
Because he's that good, and I just think he's not gotten props he deserves. Yes, Jake, we love you.
Yes.
And enemies freak me out too, but that's a whole nother story. Boyhood, sorry folks, not a big fan. Just, it's just 12 years of their lives, so I'm never getting it.
12 summers. It's down the drain.
Right, just gone. American Sniper, we covered that.
We've covered that.
I'll leave that alone.
Selma?
Whatever. No, it's fine. It's
For what it is.
I just feel like they're.
Yeah. That was my look on it.
That was your look on
for
it
what
as well,
it is.
yeah.
I
It
mean,
is what it
it's
is.
good, but
Theory of everything.
Oh man. I think
If you could set aside the film and just look at the performance, what would you think?
he did an amazing job. I really do.
Compared to Jupiter Ascending?
Well, wait, now you're putting him up against Channing, and we just won't have that. I'm sorry, Channing will win every time. We love you, Channing. The movie itself, though, I felt like it was forcing you to feel things rather than allowing you to feel things. It just said, you must feel bad for him, and you must do this, and you must do that, because he is...
So it's a lifetime.
Okay.
It's a lifetime movie.
Yeah, but his performance, that's a hard,
That's what.
hard
Yeah,
thing
that's
to
what
pull
makes it
off.
stand out. Yeah.
So, yes, but no.
Yes, but no.
It's like I said, it's been another dry year. I just feel like Nightcrawler for me is just,
Yeah.
it's just got a lot of.
What do you think of Birdman?
I think
For all the
Michael
accolades
Keaton,
and such, and
oh
the
my
praise it's getting right now.
that's, for him, amazing performance. Amazing performance. I think that. I've gotten a lot of people say, no, it's a Broadway, whatever.
Mhm.
Okay. I can think of
What's
worse
wrong with Broadway?
movies, kind of thing. I think the scenes between Michael Keaton and Edward Norton are just brilliant. They're just. Edward Norton standing there in his underwear, having a serious conversation with Michael Keaton. It was amazing. I'm just like going, is this happening right now? That's pretty good. I think it's it might be hard for some people because it is such a tight shot.
Mm-hmm.
It's in one place. You're kind of forced to be in that space, and there's not a lot of outside. There's not a lot of, you know what I mean?
Not a lot of
Sometimes
different
you're
location
starting to
type.
feel
It's just
closed
one
in
area.
with them, and you want to run. So, but I think Michael Keaton did just a stellar job.
Oh,
Batman.
Batman.
The only Batman.
My Batman.
Yeah, he's my Batman.
Batman when I grew up. Yeah.
That's what she
He's on
said.
my list.
Batman Returns.
I want to meet for a day.
Michael Keaton.
Yeah.
Because she wants to run up to him saying, I'm Batman.
Well,
I just wanna
you
show
kind of
my
want to do that to
eyebrows
all of them.
Oh.
I don't pluck my eyebrows. They look like Michael Keaton.
try to go to, was it Tom Hardy? I'm buried.
Tom Hardy doing Bane voice.
I'm buried. Is
I'm sorry. Was
is
that
imitation?
Yeah, right. That's what I said the entire
She
film.
needs subtitles on
Sorry,
her.
what? Does somebody translate for him, please? Because he sounds...
I still don't know anything he said in that movie. Not one word. I just know it was Bane.
But I love Tom Hardy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
mean,
He's not. That's the important thing.
That,
They have to be attractive.
if we're going to be tortured,
Mm-hmm.
at least look good.
Right.
If you're going to make me sit and watch
he
it
could
for
have
2 hours,
played 50 Shades of Grey.
wearing the same costume. Wearing the same
I
costume.
found, yeah.
Wow! You found the perfect Christian Grey.
That's not so
Sorry,
far
Dark
off.
Knight Rises.
Damn it!
Same.
No, the original Bane costume.
Oh, from Batman and Robin?
No. The Bane man. The
No,
Venom.
really, just the beast.
That was an interesting movie for 2 hours of listening to him.
Oh.
I'm like, I don't care what he says. He's just scaring the piss out of me.
It's,
Looks like I'll be your reckoning this evening, my dear.
I'm going to hit you 6 times.
How would he say Later's babe? Later's baby, when he goes, Later's baby.
What was it? You made me
Yoda.
a dog in the dark.
I was born in it.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. It shows him into the Bane comedy hour.
I mean, I really did love him. I couldn't understand.
I can understand.
That's why you should be
Kind of like
50
Christian Bale when he's got his background.
Throat cancer.
Come on, there are times when he was hard to understand.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, there
All the
was.
cigarettes he
Yeah.
has to smoke.
Definitely.
I know you and I have talked about this a little bit about the whole. This is the whitest Oscars since 1998. And that
You
whole.
really are trying to get me in trouble.
I'm not trying to get you in trouble. I'm simply looking for opinion.
Okay.
They're not gonna
It
listen.
hasn't been the whitest Oscars. I mean,
They're not gonna listen to this show. No, listen to this
Didn't you
show.
watch the Oscars in 1962? Oh my god.
No, I wasn't here yet.
Is
Oh, that's it.
That's my excuse. I wasn't
Something
here.
under the timeline
I would have watched them, and I wasn't here yet.
I'm of the simple mind of this. You get awarded for your performances, and you're nominated for your performances.
there you go.
I don't believe that it should be based on, well, is the list diverse enough? Well, we don't go see movies based on whether they're diverse enough. We
Right.
go to see them because there's good storytelling, and the story is being told well by those that were cast to do those parts. So the fuss and the articles that I read, it does get a little annoying
Yeah.
because and I said this to you, well, if we're not doing it right, who do we take out then to put in? Who are you going to say that Eddie Redmayne didn't deserve it? You're going to say, is Benedict up? I can never
Benedict is up, yes. Benedict Cumberbatch is up for Imitation Game, yeah.
Is he
Would you
not
wish you had a
good enough?
camera now?
I do. I'm thinking about actually adding a camera onto the show and just bringing her in every week.
Film just drove me nuts. Well, because there was so many things going on in that film that, we're talking about Cumberbatch's movie.
Yeah.
So many things going on, I felt like I wasn't sure, were they allowing him to behave that way? Was he behaving that way because he was trying to hide that he was homosexual? What did I know? You kind of, all that mumbo jumbo took away from what he was doing, his contribution to history, what he was doing. And I just kind of walked away like, oh, thanks, Cumberbatch. See you next film. But I also believe, too, that sometimes we see too much of one actor.
That's my thing.
And you're just so burnt out that he could give you the best performance of his life. And you're like, I'm over you.
Right.
And he's been on it.
Yeah.
He's really, he's there. Every time you turn around, he's there. So
that was my whole, when he was announced with Marvel Studios'
Did
Doctor
you roll
Strange.
your eyes?
I did roll my eyes. He was not my pick. I had two people already.
What? Sherlock Holmes wasn't your pick? What?
No, Sherlock Holmes. Oded Fehr was my pick, and Jim Caviezel were my picks for Doctor Strange.
So now we got
We
two
love
Sherlock
that.
Holmes in the Marvel
Those are my
universe.
Sorry.
picks.
We had a moment.
Shit, they had a moment. Yeah. We had moments
chick
on
moment.
this. Chick. Oh.
We love him.
Yeah, he was my first pick for Doctor Strange, and that was sad.
Really?
He was. He really, because I'm looking at the way they're kind of doing their films, but some of their actors are very different. I'm thinking, okay, who's different that we haven't seen in a while that could really kind of use a boost, or even that you remember.
Mm-hmm.
And I always remember Oded, obviously, from The Mummy and from Resident Evil. I was like, you know what? He's got enough of an ethnic look and different, and I think could fit that character well that you believe it. And he can play that kind of cocky swagger that Doctor Strange is before he has his thing. And so I was just like, that's a good pick.
Yeah.
He's older, so I could believe he's a surgeon and all this and that, and what his character backstory is.
Right.
And then when they went with Cumberbatch, it's like, I can see it, but it's safe. It's expected. It's expected is what it is.
Yeah.
It's expected.
Well, again,
Yeah.
like I said, I just feel like they just overuse.
He's oversaturated right now.
Yeah. And that goes for a lot of the actors out there right now. You just feel like
You see too much of him.
you can't swing without hitting one of them.
That's racist. Yeah.
Is
I haven't
that
seen that one in a while.
Dead Cat?
He retired.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying.
He's saying Sean Connery. Sean Connery retired.
We love Sean.
I know. Hey, Doctor Strange with the Scottish
Doctor
accent.
Strange with Scottish accent.
She loves saying that. I just have to bring it up. She loves saying that. So if that comes out, you're going to get that out.
She do a Jeopardy quote, though.
Yeah.
Having your wife to breakfast.
Oh, more, just like that subject.
Ain't no bum covers.
Rough, just like how your wife likes it.
My favorite.
Those are the best.
She wrote, "Suck it, Trebek."
Did you see the Saturday Night Live Jeopardy?
Yeah.
Saturday Night
Yes.
Live Jeopardy?
Yeah.
No, I didn't know if he's like stayed
Yeah.
through the whole thing because I cut it out half. Like
Okay,
once they
once
got
they
away
switched
from there and
characters,
they went
once-
to Jim Carrey,
yeah.
I was like, okay, fast forward.
Fast
I
forward.
just kind
It's
of
seen enough.
I don't know, but the Jim Carrey
Terry
was
Ferguson.
on it,
Matthew
man.
McConaughey.
Yeah.
That
Like an
was.
impression.
Flip through.
She fast
I
forwarded.
couldn't stand the. It's like
Who did the
okay,
voiceover?
done.
Who did the voiceover? Did you
Yeah.
record a voiceover for this?
You did
Maybe.
not fast forward Jim Carrey. I'll never speak to you again.
I really can't talk to you.
She can.
At least 10 minutes.
What did you think of Steve Carell for Foxcatcher?
Talk to her about that one.
Okay.
Oh.
I thought he was great. I thought he was awkward, and I forgot, who he was, and that's what you want from the actors is you don't want to think, oh, this is Steve Carell.
From The
you know?
Office.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You don't. I was scared because I was almost kind of waiting for him to make me laugh, And my husband went to go with me, and he actually knows the story very well. I had no idea what it was about, to be perfectly honest. And I guess he was actually in the Marines doing something when he heard about,
The shooting.
spoiler alert, someone dies. So he verified that, that was, the characters were right on point, but he was really creepy and awkward and amazing. It's really odd to
I liked
say.
it. I think he needed it.
Oh, yeah.
I think he definitely, and that's what I want to see. And that's again like when I brought up Marvel earlier with Oded Fair. You want to see an actor do something very different. I would love to see Steve Carell do like what Jake Gyllenhaal did in Nightcrawler. I would love to see him do something like that, where he's completely just a full 180 of what you expect from him and what you know him for. I want to see him play a bad guy. I want to see him play a villain.
Sinister
Yeah,
villain.
I want to
he's
see him play a sinister
He's
villain.
proven that he can do that.
Yeah.
And I knew it when I saw the Way Back.
I have not
He
seen that.
played a
He's a douche.
douchebag. Spoiler: Steve Carell.
Steve Carell was a douchebag.
He was so good. It was like you were like, no, don't, but keep doing that because you kind of just saw how
You
he
wanna
could
see
get
it.
away. Well, you could see how he could get away with it because he has that guy next door look, and he's very. You
He's
just
a
don't
cardinal
see-
dad.
Yeah, taking his son to football games. You don't see this disgusting weasel. So it was really, I was like, oh man, well played. Whoever casted him to do that, well played.
He's
Well,
just
there
one
was
of the
make facts in it.
few that you laugh hysterically at and can also play really dramatic. Like Jim Carrey's, he's just not one of those people
No,
who
he's
can
not.
really do a dramatic. Keep with the funny. I mean, I love
He's
him.
tried.
He
Justin
just
tried.
No, Justin, I love Man
I
on the
liked
Moon.
it,
I love Man
but
on
it
the Moon.
was just awkward to see him. I mean, I'm number one Jim Carrey fan in the world. I'll say that right now. But it was just awkward to see him try to play serious because I feel like I'm just laughing at him. I feel like he's about to crack. I just don't see the full seriousness. But Steve Carell, I was lost in him. I forgot who it was. So I think that it'd be great.
It's a lot of fun. Okay, well, last thing I wanted to ask you about was the your interview with Cal Penn that you had.
Prayer for me.
Yes.
Yeah, that was an eye opener for me. First of all, we love Harold and Kumar. we do what?
We need a White Castle in San Diego. That's what we need.
Just so we can have Neil
Just so we
Patrick Harris show up in the back seat, whacked out on whatever, seeing rainbows and unicorns. Because
Pound of weed.
Riding a unicorn
that would be my Friday.
and a bag of mushrooms.
I'm saying, I'm in. I didn't know what to expect when I saw the film, and I was very surprised because that was something I didn't know about. I didn't know about the Union Carbide accident in India, and I have a lot of friends from India, and they were surprised because I guess it was so covered up by the company that even people who live in India
Didn't know
because it was just that well. It's not. Martin Sheen is in it as well, and they tried to stick, other than Cal Penn and Martin Sheen, they used actors from the area or from India, and to watch them reenact, there was an ending there I didn't see coming, and when it did, I got all that. I just like, oh God, wow. And it was so well done. Speaking with him was a joy. She got to speak with him too. He was thrilled that my cat's name was Kumar. I had to break his heart though and tell him it wasn't because of him. Because I said, but if you want to go ahead and accept that, go ahead. You're more than welcome to. To talk to him though about the movie was, you could see that he had a love for the story and that he really believed that bringing the story of the accident, practically wiping out an entire town, he felt it was important. And we talked about working for the Prez.
Mm-hmm.
That was something that he just he wanted
Remember
to do.
He left house to do that.
Well, he left house in a big way, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
He made sure his character
was not going to come back. Yeah.
So I find it fascinating that he is just he loves his Harold and Kumar movies.
Mm-hmm.
He loved his house experience. He loved working for the president. He's not afraid to get out there and try different things. And
I really liked him in The Namesake. I know it really didn't get a lot of press or a lot of viewing, but it was very. It seemed very personal, very deep, very. Oh my goodness! When you get to that ending, it's personal, but you don't know how personal until the very, very end. Yeah.
Same with this. You don't realize how personal you can see it is for him till the very, very end. But speaking with him was just one of those joys. He laughs. He thinks things like we think are funny. He thinks are funny. So that already was a winner right there.
It makes it easier.
It is.
It makes it easier time to someone.
We begged him for another Harold and Kumar. We begged him. So keep your fingers crossed that he listened. Because we said, dude, no. You got one more in you. Come on. Crank it out.
Claymation.
Claymation. An animated show, anything.
Yeah.
Just bring the cast
They did
back.
Clerks. They can do Harold and Kumar.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a joy. And I think we spent more time talking to him about everything else. We got the movie out of the way and then just went right into
everything else.
Had a real enjoy it perfectly, just the fundamentals.
Yeah, just things you might want to know about him. But yeah, one of the joy interviews. Seriously, one of the good ones.
What's your favorite genre?
My favorite genre? Anything that doesn't suck.
It's a wide.
Anything that doesn't make me go,
request.
why am I here?
That's a big request.
I don't think I have a favorite. I think I just. Is it good? Is it entertaining? Is it going to make me want to buy the DVD when it comes out?
You've seen something terrible in every genre.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Because I've even asked myself that. It's like, what is my favorite genre? Well, this kind of hurt it. And that one. And that.
And then you start looking at it and going, wait a minute, that's everything.
And you're like, so what is your favorite genre instead?
I don't have these movies on
what
the
is the
shelf.
worst movies you've seen?
I love animation because I'm still a little bit of a kid at heart. I love drama if it's done well.
Yes.
I love action if it's done well. Don't baffle me with bullshit. Don't throw cars at me and da da da. You can have action without 20 zillion car wrecks and shooting everything 5 million times.
Fifth Element.
Huh?
Fifth Element. As far as action goes and all that, you can do it.
Yeah. Although I am a little spoiled, I love Taken, but that's because we love our Liams.
Taken.
We love our
Taken's fun.
And he has a movie coming out March with
Run All
Ed
Night.
Harris. I can't wait.
Run All Night.
I don't care if it looks like Taken 5.
Every movie he does is taken.
It's Taken.
We've already-
I don't
Welcome on
care.
Tombstone's Taken.
We've already had this discussion.
I left there. I was like, did I just see Taken 7?
Yeah.
What's going
We've already
on
had
there?
this
I
discussion.
just don't care. Him and Ed Harris in a room together, that's a woman my age. That's a dream. That's like, those are two of the...
That's what my mom said. I got my dad to watch Snowpiercer the other day, and my mom walked in right in the last 20 minutes with Ed Harris, and she sat down and was just into it. Like,
Ed Harris has a presence.
My dad's trying to tell him a movie. She's like, shut up, Ed Harris, shut up, Ed Harris.
He just has a presence about him,
Yeah.
and the way he can deliver, even bad movies, he delivers everything. You can just tell he's not.
It's another guy who played Chris and Gray.
Oh yeah, Ed Harris.
I really like
I don't think his wife would mind.
I think it was underrated and went under the radar with Appaloosa. He's Appaloosa with Viggo Mortensen. I really enjoyed
Him
it.
with Viggo.
With
That
Viggo.
was, that's another one where I went, oh god, there's 2 of them.
Yeah.
I can't handle this. Yeah, Snowpiercer. Who
Snowpiercer,
saw that coming?
right?
He just
So
screwed
good.
Captain America. I loved him in that movie. Tilda Swinton, are you kidding?
Oh my
This
God.
woman plays the most obscure roles in the most obscure ways. Why she isn't walking around with trophies
Multiple
dangling
trophies
from
everywhere.
her, I don't know. She's just
Grand Budapest. Yeah.
the 80-year.
No, yeah, it's the 80-year-old woman.
I've held older. Yeah, I love that. So yeah, wow, Snowpiercer. I'll go and watch that again.
There you go.
I love it.
I'll probably watch it again before the end of the month.
But it's funny because some people will say, "Oh, that's bad. I don't like it."
I've got nothing to do tomorrow.
I know some people who don't really, legitimately do not like that movie at all, and it shocks me a little bit because I'm like, wow,
I kind of wonder why.
you know, what's gotten into you?
Yeah.
And then there's just this. It's going to be a cult classic. 'Cause
Oh, yeah.
there's just this people who I never thought would like it are just like Snowpiercer.
Just Chris
It's gotta be a
Evans' monologue alone.
Huh?
Just Chris Evans' monologue alone that he does. That's the whole reason he can tell this. The whole
Just
reason he
watch
did
him
that.
go from that
Yeah.
back of that train to the front of that
Oh
train.
my
You're just
God,
like
yeah.
going, God, please let him get a little further. I mean, you're rooting
Yeah.
for the guy.
Yeah, you are.
And then what a Debbie Downer when he gets to the front of the train. You're just like, this is bullshit.
Go back to the
I'm
back of
with
the
you.
train.
But it's still good.
I'm with you. Bullshit. Open the door and chuck them all out.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a
It's
well
so
done,
good, yeah.
a well done movie. Yeah.
Well, I think that about covers everything I wanted to cover. Is there anything you'd like to address? Your website? Anything?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask
Please.
you guys' opinion. Do
Absolutely.
you think there should be a moratorium on remakes?
I'm sorry?
Because I'm fighting for it. A moratorium on remakes. Like, there should be 100 years from the time a movie's made before it can be remade.
Or the people should vote before you make it.
I would never give people that much power. Because
Yeah, that's
people are...
No,
you'd have to have a set thing. I would never give
agree
people that
with
much
it.
power.
I would say we
25
need that.
years is a good.
If we
No,
had
I'm
that,
still around and breathing. I don't want to see him remake Total Recall again, okay?
right? No,
Jesus
if they did that,
Christ, shoot me.
Marvel would have Spider-Man back in
Yeah.
full,
That's true.
Well, I mean, like...
Okay, 75
and they would have
I'll take 50 years.
No,
take
because
And
I'm
they would
still
probably
around,
have,
and I don't want that.
X-Men back,
I have to sit
Yeah.
through Ben
because
Hur.
X-Men's been rebooted
Well, I mean, like,
already.
you have the 1929 Ben-Hur, and then you have the Charlton Heston Ben-Hur,
Yes, but 1929 they didn't speak.
but it's still the same movie.
No, it's not.
What about Poltergeist?
Bah!
Nah,
Okay.
That's BS right
they're
there.
here.
I just hate clowns. That's all I know.
And this one jumps at you?
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
think
no,
so.
I'm not.
I
Yeah.
don't
Lie
agree
about
with
it.
this. I don't agree with this at all. I'm
I,
still with
I,
it.
I, okay. if it had,
We have to write
you
it,
have to.
though.
Yeah. I mean, I have no problem with remakes. I don't mind them. I'll gladly go see them just to compare. They're gonna stab me later.
To compare, but
To compare, I have no problem comparing and contrasting them. What
Yeah,
I
but
liked
it's
about
what you've seen can't be unseen.
I
I don't
problem.
like Tusk.
Can you name one remake that was better than the original? Name
Right.
one. We
Right.
tried
No.
we tried to name
No.
one last time and
I
we
think
couldn't
so.
do it.
Compared to Judge Dredd,
Where is my gun?
I think we'd
I don't
be
have.
better listing the worst ones. Like Fright Night. Like, come on.
Oh, I didn't watch that. I didn't watch
Well, and
that.
back to back Colin Farrell
Well,
between Fright Night
trying
and
to
Total
remake
Recall.
Freddy
It's like,
Krueger.
really? Were you that hard up for entertainment? I mean,
It's if you're gonna remake it, you should remake it. You shouldn't remake it with a completely different idea, and that's what Fright Night is one of my favorite '80s movies
Well,
of all time.
to me,
wow, that's when Chris.
it's like when
Daniels
you
was
say remake, it's like, do you really, and you use the same title, are you associating the title with the story, or are you saying I'm associating the title with a completely different story?
Exactly.
Because that's the problem for me, is like when I saw,
rename it.
like Nightmare on Elm Street, they remade it, they redid everything about Freddy Krueger. They made him
John Leslie.
not.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they still made him that, but he was just dark.
He was,
He was not like a comical psychopath. He was just like a killer. I'm like, where have I seen that before?
Yeah.
How many slasher movies feature a very hardcore killer? That's all he was.
Maybe that's why I would love a moratorium. Is that let people enjoy the era that they grew up in,
Right. There,
loving the movies they grew up in. She hates that they remake any of her 80s movies. Like, God forbid they remake House, because she will take some people down.
Do you remember the House movies?
I've seen
William
I've
Katt?
seen the first one. Yeah.
Just the first one of the 80s.
I know there was a second one. I started watching on Netflix, but I didn't
Three.
finish it yet.
And all, my favorite of all time is Lady in White, and not a lot of people know that movie. Well, I got it on DVD, but if they remade that, I'd probably
Storm the Castle.
Storm the Castle.
I just feel like it kind of insults the intelligence of the people who saw the original. Like, I don't have Alzheimer's. I remember what the original was about. I remember how I felt. I remember the feelings you got from me and the visual and the special effects back then. The poltergeist with the meat, that was awesome. Yeah. That was, to us, that was like, oh my God, brainchild. We came up with that. It's awesome. I think the new one is going to be so loaded with digital and special effects and
jump scares.
You're screwing with my memories, dude. You're screwing with their childhood.
Their childhood.
When I was a kid, so.
What about because if we had this 100 years before a remake
I said
was
75,
done,
I'm willing to crack on
75, you wouldn't have Christopher Nolan's Batman. You wouldn't have, and that was like what, rebooting the universe,
Like
or
trying to raise the Titanic, actually.
There is a movie about that, by the way, and it happens. It's an awesome movie.
It was kind of like a different, because you're reintroducing the Joker. I mean, recently I saw Batman Returns, and it's like you have the same villains, you have the same protagonist, Batman, and it's, Christopher Nolan, he kind of reintroduced that whole arc. Yeah. So it's kind of like a reboot, but at the same time, it's kind of like an alternate universe.
But it's been a continuous reboot because there's cartoons and kids are watching it. So I necessarily wouldn't put it in the same category because it's always changed. It's like the Power Rangers, every
Why
year.
are we rebooting Spider-Man because we can't get it right? Why do I have to sit through that?
Ask Sony.
No, I see, yeah.
So maybe we should have a committee.
But I mean, what about
me and her, me and Jenise,
okay?
and we will tell you what you can reboot and what you can't.
What about some movies that have not to put them down, but have become obscure to a modern audience? Okay, let's take one I really like that I watched way before I should have was MASH. I watched MASH and I loved it, and I watched the TV show growing up. I have a picture in my mind. This picture of me as a baby in a little thing watching the TV show MASH, and I started watching it again on Netflix. But I mean, how many people nowadays you think really remember it? How many people? I mean, aside
but you don't have anybody trying to remake MASH
precisely
in Iraq. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
MASH modern.
It wouldn't work. It really wouldn't work. I mean, would you remake China Beach, the TV series, and put it in Afghanistan? I mean, come on, let's be realistic. There are certain things you can do and certain things you shouldn't do.
Willow?
I mean, they could.
We don't touch that.
We're leaving. Let's go.
We're done. You don't mess with Willow. Sorry, you just don't mess. You don't mess with that.
Yeah.
There's just too many good. Princess Bride. Would you remake that?
No, but the problem is here's the thing.
I am in love with her.
Hollywood.
And we've only said hi.
It's because she's from the South. It's just a natural thing,
Hollywood knows if there's a name, if there's something associated with the name, it's going to make money, which is why these guys get away with reboots, and it's sickening. It really is. I mean, Spider-Man. They rebooted Spider-Man, and they knew it was going to make money because it's Spider-Man.
I can't handle it. I really can't handle it. Now, I'm not saying that Andrew Garfield wasn't really Spider-Man.
I am.
I'm being nice here, please.
Okay.
You think
I loved Emma Stone because I love Emma Stone.
But she didn't play. She wasn't playing.
Right. And I could stand watching them two kids, where I couldn't stand to watch.
Tobey Maguire.
Yeah, I can't even think of their names. I
just like my brother. Let's be honest.
When they kissed, did you ever feel like ew?
I didn't believe it, but I never felt ew.
I felt ew. Okay. I felt ew. I felt like there's something wrong here. It just didn't.
It's like siblings.
I was gonna say that. See, you keep taking it to a dark place. I'm trying to be nice, and you keep taking it to a dark place. But yes, it looked like brothers and sisters.
As far as remakes go, I mean, people like what I was mentioning earlier about the Scarlett Johansson and Ghost in the Shell. That to me is like the beginning of people starting to speak out and say, this has been done. There's no reason to remake it. It's
Right.
the target is not just the fact that Scarlett Johansson's playing Motoko.
Sorry. Right.
It's the fact that the story's established. The original content is fast. I mean, if you ever seen Ghost in Shell, it's about cyber terrorism
Right.
and stuff like, and a crime unit established to police and kind of go
Right.
against it. But it's one of those stories that it's like, just don't touch it. And I feel like the whole petition thing, again, they say Scarlett Johansson, but I believe it's more than that. People are saying,
But don't you also feel
can't.
like with Scarlett Johansson already playing super
Computer.
whatever,
Uh-huh.
don't you feel like that crossover just also takes the believability out of it? Like Chris Evans
Yeah.
being in, Fantastic Four and then jumping all of a sudden he's Captain America. Wait a minute, you were Blazing 2 years ago and now you're that's where I guess my disconnect is that I can't, and again using the same people, you lost me. The minute you went from let's reboot Fantastic Four, I don't even want to go there.
God.
I just want to but to see that you can't ask me to believe he's Johnny Blaze and then a couple years later ask me to believe he's Captain America. Although he is one of the nicest guys in the world. I get it, but
not even if they funhouse his body and just put his head on a... Make it believable.
boy, talk about getting dark over here. He's got heads on pig holes over there. This isn't Game
creepy.
of Thrones, okay?
Oh, wow.
This isn't Game of Thrones.
It's for an entire season.
Oh my god, I'm so... Are you guys excited?
Yes.
You're like,
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes.
Right?
Yes.
She's read all the books, so she's a little more ahead than I am.
I have
Actually, she's a lot more ahead than I am.
a word, and I want to, because every year Comic-Con they give you a book.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to, yeah. Oh, do I need to give you the Game of Thrones bag?
I'll take the books.
Yeah, I just gave you the
I
bag.
know, damn.
I don't read.
The books are
comics,
Each, yeah.
but I have all the
That'd be
books.
too wordy for
Is there
her.
a Cliff Notes?
Kanye would not appreciate that.
There is a clip.
You know, like you can have Kanye knock on my front door. We'll do this. We will do this.
Ah!
I ain't afraid of you, Kanye.
That was a little silly. But
Don't tell him that.
I'm not afraid of him at all. I just think he's just a big ball of
He'll interrupt you on stage when you're getting an award. It
Well,
happens. It happens to
He's
the best
never
of
seen
them.
my drop kick, has he? That's where everybody went wrong. You're supposed to drop kick.
Oh, that's the
take
other
him
thing.
out.
That's why on Saturday Night Live they had guards
Weird
waiting.
retaliates. It's like
Right?
Kanye's on stage.
I love that they made fun of that.
Do
I
we-
love that they made fun of it.
I
So, like,
know,
how can you not?
But I feel like they're doing too much and giving him more play.
He had more
Yeah.
play with it, yeah.
It's like
That was one of the downsides.
That's why
He
if
wasn't in
somebody
on
would
it.
have Spartan drop kicked him, I'd have been like, what?
Or just would have someone off stage
This
be
is the
like,
Grammys.
just on cue, hand me a bike helmet so I can give it to Kanye, put it on his head, strap it nice and tight for him.
I don't think that would. I think that would straight down. Yeah, I want
Then take pictures and post them.
Ratman Bo Rat rolling down a hill. See if
Oh,
that
fun.
improves him at all.
Be so fun.
I doubt it.
Well, this has been a lot of fun. I
Thank you.
don't
We've had a lot
know
of
about
fun.
you. I've thoroughly enjoyed this.
very.
Honestly, I was
Okay.
it's okay. It's alright, you know.
It's alright.
She's got a baby on the brain. It's alright.
It's alright.
Yeah, right.
I'm taking her cats. I'm good.
I
No.
have.
Yeah, she's like going.
It's been a
We
step.
gotta have a death battle here for that. I mean, I'm fine, but she lives here too.
You know, I have a name for it,
They're
but
her
I can't
cats more.
say it. Just letting it go. Letting it go. Thanks for having us. We
Absolutely.
appreciate it.
I appreciate it. I was so shocked that you said yes, and was like, wow, this is like, to me, this is a big thing for me. This is a big thing for me.
So you realize now I'm normal. So
Yeah,
I'm
and so you destroyed the illusion completely. That's
I'm
your
good
fault.
at that.
But that's your fault, you know.
Deep down, he's very happy about that. She's normal, yeah.
She's really, oh my god, there's
She's
normal
one of
people.
us. She's one of us.
She has
Google Gobble.
weird sense of
I
humor.
One of us.
You guys are awesome.
Google gobble.
Oh, Jesus.
There. Is that old enough for a remake? Can we redo Freaks, or is that bad taste?
No.
What?
I'm still breathing. God.
Suck the joy
Just-
of everything.
You know what? The minute I'm dead, go nuts. That's all I can say. Just don't do anymore.
Let's just do one more carry though.
What about
One more before
Oh,
we die.
No. Unless you bring back Ace Ventura, then maybe.
yes.
That's a reboot. That's not really a remake.
No. We're gonna ask you. What?
No, they
Do
can
you
do a
think
continuation.
anyone else would be asked to do?
Channing
Yeah.
Tatum.
No.
What?
No.
What is wrong with you?
Lots,
Maybe Ace
actually.
Ventura's brain
Yeah.
dead child, but no.
If he hit him with
It
a
has to be
baseball
Jim
bat.
Carrey, but I think he's getting to that
Age.
age where
Yeah.
those pratfalls aren't going to be as funny because they'll really hurt.
Dumb and
So-
Dumber too. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That-
You said that
yeah.
in front of me?
Yeah.
I will take you.
I didn't see it. I could tell it's just. It's gone.
I think that was the reason why he was so
I-
hesitant about doing it too.
I felt so bad for Jeff Daniels. Did any of you see Newsroom? Once
Yes.
it's on?
Yes, I watched Newsroom.
Was his character not just brilliantly written
Yes.
and brilliantly performed?
Yes.
And then
he does that.
squash it.
Yeah.
You just make me go, what is wrong with you, dude? The money couldn't have been that good. Better money doing the Newsroom than
Than
that.
doing that movie, yeah.
Yeah,
I think maybe the Farley brothers are kind of done.
Yeah.
Well, again, stop trying to reinvent something that's perfectly fine the way it is. Don't reboot, reinvent, rethink, remake. Take "re" out of your vocabulary.
Right.
Leave things alone. Get creative again. Stop worrying about how you're going to get these 13 to 17-year-olds in the theater because they're going to go whether you put,
Regardless.
free movies out or not. Remember that there's more people out there who want to go to the movies, and that includes people over 40, yes. Start making movies for everybody and not just,
Right.
The tweens.
because if I have to sit through one more Insurgent, I'm going to...
Well, you have to sit through Insurgents coming out next month.
Jiminy
I'm
Christmas,
sorry.
God.
Let me know how that
I
is
just can't... It's not that they were bad, it's just there was nothing
there.
original. There was nothing... Really? You fall in love with the guy? Really? Oh, I didn't see that coming.
These are
The
the Hunger
parents were
Games.
divergent? Really? Oh, I didn't see that
Oh,
coming.
wow.
Anyway, sorry. Spaced out for a second. But yes,
That's
thank you for having us.
Absolutely.
We enjoyed it so much.
Thank you so
and
much.
You guys
I
are
hope
hilarious.
I hope we can have you back again after Comic Con just to
Oh,
hear it.
$20.
I just want to hear
Yeah,
keep the change.
Yes, please.
Please, because
we'd love
this
to
is a
come
lot of
back
fun,
and share
and-
that all with you.
And obviously, we want to promote your site, moviemaven.com. And it's just I've been on there reading a lot now for these last few
My
days.
reader. No, just kidding.
Just one. We have no listeners. We have 13 subscribers. Ooh.
Sweet.
Ooh,
I'll
13.
look you up, my peeps.
Thank you, 13 people who listen to our show.
Up there with your peep.
My peep. Our single peep. So this has been another CineMunn podcast. Again, we want to say thank you, Jeri, for coming on.
Thank
Thank
you.
you for bringing your dog. Thank you so much for coming in. I'm here again with Time Metropolis
Absolutely.
and Benjamin Briggs.
See you later, folks.
And my wife is here eating dinner.
Yeah!
Thank God for nurses, right?
I do exist.
She does exist. I swear to God, I'm not just making it up because I'm a sad little fanboy who lives in a cave. I'm Vince Munn. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.